What if I told you that the name Jehovah isn't even in the Bible, at least not the original one? What if everything you thought you knew about the sacred name of God, how to say it, how to honor it, how to invoke it, has been filtered, Latinized, and even mispronounced for centuries? Yes, the name of the Most High, etched in fire on Sinai, whispered in the Holy of Holies, is shrouded in layers of mistranslation, mystery, and controversy. And today we're pulling back the veil. But before we dive into this name-based rabbit hole, make sure you hit that subscribe button. This channel is all about unmasking spiritual secrets, tackling the hard questions, and giving you the historical and biblical depth you crave. Let's get into it. Most English-speaking Christians know God as God or Lord. Some may have heard the names Jehovah or Yahweh, especially in songs or older Bible translations like the King James Version. But here's the twist. Jehovah is not found in the Hebrew Bible. Yahweh is much closer to the original, but even that may not be exactly right. And the original name of God, the Tetragrammaton, YHWH, was considered so sacred by ancient Israel that they refused to speak it aloud. So, what's the truth behind these names? The Tetragrammaton, YHWH, the name of God given in Exodus 3 verse 14, I am who I am, leads directly into God's name revealed to Moses in Exodus 3 verse 15. This is my name forever, the name you shall call me from generation to generation. That name? YHWH, for Hebrew consonants. No vowels, no pronunciation guide. Just fire, breath, and awe. Key fact, ancient Hebrew had no written vowels, and the name was seen as ineffable, too holy to pronounce. Eventually, Jewish tradition began substituting Adonai, meaning Lord, when reading the text aloud, even if YHWH was written. How did we get Jehovah? Here's where it gets wild. During the Middle Ages, Jewish scribes added vowel marks, called nikud, to Hebrew texts. To remind readers not to say YHWH, they inserted the vowels of Adonai Ayo into the consonants YHWH. This created the hybrid word, Yehovah. Later, Latin translators, unaware this was a substitution, transliterated it as Jehovah, since Latin had no Y and used J instead. Historical note, the first major appearance of Jehovah is in William Tyndale's 1530 translation of the Pentateuch. The King James Bible, 1611, used it sparingly. But there's no ancient manuscript where God says, "My name is Jehovah." Yahweh, closer, but still mysterious. Most scholars today agree that Yahweh is a more accurate reconstruction of the original pronunciation. It likely stems from the Hebrew verb haya, meaning to be, connecting to Exodus 3 verse 14, where God declares, Yahweh asher Yahweh, I am who I am. Yahweh thus means something like, he who causes to be, or the self-existent one. But even Yahweh is an educated guess. The true pronunciation was likely lost sometime after the Second Temple period. Why? Because of reverence. Ancient Jews stopped saying the name aloud to avoid violating Exodus 20 verse 7, You shall not take the name of YHWH your God in vain. Key scriptural moments. Let's walk through 3 crucial biblical moments involving God's name. 1. Exodus 3 verses 14 to 15. God's name is revealed to Moses as eternal and foundational to his identity. 2. Leviticus 24 verse 16. Blaspheming the name, Hashem, could bring the death penalty. This added to the caution surrounding it. 3. Psalm 83 verse 18 KJV. That men may know that thou, whose name alone is Jehovah, art the Most High. This is one of the only places Jehovah appears in the King James, based on medieval pronunciation practices, extra-biblical and archaeological insights. The Mesha Stele 9th century BCE, a Moabite inscription mentioning YHWH, confirming the name's ancient use. The Dead Sea Scrolls contain fragments with the Tetragrammaton written in Paleo-Hebrew, even within later Hebrew texts, showing continued reverence and mystery. Septuagint Greek OT translates YHWH as Kyrios, Lord, influencing New Testament usage, Romans 10 verse 13, Philippians 2 verse 11. The early church followed this pattern, rarely using the divine name directly, but applying Lord to both God and Jesus, deepening the Christological mystery. So why does all this matter? 1. Names carry power. In Hebrew thought, a name expresses character, destiny, and essence. To know God's name is to know His nature. 2. Jehovah isn't evil, just historically misinformed. While it's been cherished by many sincere believers, knowing the truth adds depth to our worship. It doesn't invalidate devotion, but invites refinement. 3. YHWH has breath and being. Some rabbis and mystics say the name sounds like breath itself. Inhale, YH, exhale, WH. Could it be that the very act of breathing is a testimony to God's name spoken across every human life? Controversies and common misunderstandings. Let's clear up a few. Jehovah is Satan's name, a fringe claim with no serious biblical or linguistic support. Only one name saves. You must say Yahweh exactly. While God's name is sacred, Scripture emphasizes faith and obedience over phonetic precision. See Romans 10 verses 9 to 13. Different names equals different aspects. Scripture uses many names for God. Elohim, Creator, El Shaddai, All-Sufficient, YHWH, Covenantal, Adonai, Lord. Each reveals a piece of the divine mosaic. This isn't just trivia. It's about intimacy with the God we claim to worship. Are we willing to seek truth even when it challenges tradition? Are we comfortable with mystery when God chooses not to spell everything out? Can we worship in spirit and in truth, even if we don't have all the vowels? Recovering the name YHWH reminds us that God is not a generic higher power, but the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who entered into covenant and revealed His identity. Jehovah may have been a well-meaning translation error, but YHWH is a thunderous mystery, etched into Scripture, breathed through creation, and destined to be fully revealed when all tongues confess that Jesus is Lord. Philippians 2 verse 11. Whether you say Yahweh, Adonai, or simply Father, what matters most is that your heart seeks Him in truth and reverence. Drop a comment below. Did you grow up hearing Jehovah? What does God's name mean to you? And don't forget to subscribe. If you love uncovering the hidden stories and forgotten truths of the Bible, this channel is your new spiritual home. Until next time, stay curious, stay reverent, and keep digging deeper into the mystery. Shalom.